how is everybody since this explosion's happened?
Alhamdulillah, we're well. A lot of the people were very frightened yesterday. We had multiple attacks by drones. There were around 13 explosions where there were aerial bombs that were detonated just above the masts. They were largely targeting boats that had sails, and they were detonating explosions above the boats, probably around 2 or 3 meters above the boat. And I think the intention was to damage the masts. Two boats, at least one has definitely been damaged. So the sail's been damaged, and the others have had chemicals. There's been 2 instances of chemicals being thrown on deck. Yeah, so to be honest, it continued for about 3 hours last night. But alhamdulillah, nobody was injured, and we continue to remain steadfast to continue our journey to Gaza and open this humanitarian corridor.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Thank
Brother,
goodness.
you're saying some of the activists were frightened. We're frightened for you just listening to this. So first and foremost, may Allah keep you safe and make you successful in this journey. Because honestly, we really appreciate what you're doing. And I speak, I think, on behalf of every single protester and every single person that has been boycotting and is supporting you. So that first of all. Secondly, you know, you mentioned you were frightened, and at the same time, you mentioned you're steadfast in going towards your end goal. Tell me a little bit more about that. How long to go? What's the plan of action?
So I think for a start, I mean, on our personal boat, we have around 3 people that are over the age of 70. So there's there's a lot of elderly people on the boat. We have some fairly young people in their early 20s. So I think it's a big mix. We have politicians on the boat, reporters on the boat. We have artists, painters, and just general civilians like me on the boat. So it's a mix of people. We've been very clear from day one. This is entirely non-violent, and we've made that statement from the very beginning. And you'll have seen some false information coming from the Israeli government trying to say that this is linked with the Hamas and that we have terrorist links, etc., which is complete lies and falsehoods. And they're doing this because they'll then use that as air cover and justification for any type of violent action they may take and the activities they're undertaking. The attacks last night were in international waters, and that's an act of piracy. We were civilian vessels were attacked with military-grade weapons, and we were in a situation where we were frightened for our life, and 2 boats, or at least 1 boat, is now decommissioned as a consequence of the attacks, and we're trying to see if we can do the repairs. Coming back to the objective, our objective is very clear. We are simply looking to open a humanitarian corridor. We carry aid of baby formula, medicines, water, food for the people of Gaza, and all we're trying to do is access or get this aid to the people in Gaza, to be honest, and most importantly, open up an ongoing corridor that this isn't the only time that somebody can take something through. Clearly, there's no other way to be able to get any aid into Gaza, and we're trying to open a means and a method of being able to get this on an ongoing basis.
Inshallah.
It's good to hear, alhamdulillah, that nobody was injured in these attacks that happened. But I am wondering that in terms of these kind of attacks, because we also saw it previously, are you able to, is there any training or anything to prepare you, or if this happens to yourselves, how would you deal with this? That's my first question. And secondly, I wanted to ask is, have you had any more boats joining you, and what's the number we're looking at the moment?
There's 50 boats at the moment. We are expecting perhaps a few more maybe joining us from Malta and maybe some from Turkey, but we don't know yet. They're still deciding. But as it stands currently, we have 50 boats. And we do have training. So we've been regularly practicing. So part of the initial training we received before we departed was what to do in the event of an attack, what to do in the event of interception by the Israelis, what do we do if there's a fire on board. So we executed all those processes, and we train every day. on how to deal with these situations, and of course put that into practice last night. We are absolutely expecting this to continue every night. So it's a psychological warfare where they're trying to intimidate, scare us, but also reduce our ability to function properly. So we were up all night. Everybody didn't sleep last night. So we were likely going to continue having similar attacks most nights to try and deprive us of sleep and diminish our ability to operate effectively.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
I mean, it's a very scary thing to go through, and I imagine because of these attacks, it must slow the pace a little bit more in terms of reaching, Gaza, or inshallah, you guys get there safely
Inshallah,
and deliver that aid. But I can imagine it must slow things down a little bit. But what about communication? Has any other outlets, media, tried to get coverage of what's actually happening? Because you guys are doing an act of humanity and trying to deliver this aid to Gaza. Has anybody else, reputable, creditable organizations, news or journalists, reached out to you guys?
To be honest, no, they haven't, and this is unfortunately symptomatic of the complicity of the general media and the fact that they are only reiterating what the standard false narrative that comes out from the Israeli government. Very little information gone out around what's been happening to us. There was some coverage of the attacks in Tunis when bombs were dropped on the main boats, but outside of that, we've had very little coverage. And unfortunately, this is the reality on the ground, that we have to try and counter that narrative against a very big machinery which is building lots of falsehoods around what we are doing and what we're intending on doing. But ultimately, we are really dependent on people like yourselves and the general public to share the information.
And of course, they're going to do everything they can to deter you and to dishonor you and to add tags to you, trying to affiliate you with political groups, because that's the only way they seem to be able to succeed in letting the world know that what they're doing is correct, which of course we know is not, and we do question when they tell us that this group is politically linked or that place has been politically linked. We don't just sit back and say, oh, okay. We do question the actual genuine integrity behind their statements. But how are you and the other boats that are on the flotilla's mission with you dealing with this and these kind of statements? And on that note, what kind of a message or statement would you like to send out to the world?
Well, I guess we, as you'll be aware, we have some journalists on the boat, so we try to make the makeup of most of the boats so that there's a mixture of participants on each boat. So we have some members of parliament from South America, we have some journalists from Europe and South America also. So the idea is that having them present, they are able to use their networks to share what's happening on the ground. But of course, whether that's then subsequently relayed out to the rest of the world and picked up by the mass media is a different thing. But more importantly, coming back to the message, I think the message remains that, even for the UK government, we have now recognized, the UK has now recognized Palestine as a state. If it has recognized Palestine as a state, it equally comes with the added responsibility of ensuring that you're able to provide support to another state that is in need. And therefore, what we are doing is taking humanitarian aid, and we ask and demand that our government provide safe passage for not only us, but any future aid deliveries. But above all else, I would ask that everybody listening and watching, that you continue to focus on sharing the news in Gaza, and please continue to lobby your members of parliament. I know there's a degree of helplessness by people who sit there and say, what can I do? I'm just one person, will one letter make a difference? But if every person that thought that sent a letter, decided to share information, go to some type of march or raise awareness, then you would be making a massive difference. I don't know if you saw that because it looks like it's crashed.
Yeah, it's obviously you're on a boat, and so obviously the communication is a little bit difficult. But you know, I mean, I hope you can still hear me. But we wishing you all the best, and we would like to know if there is a way that we could keep up to track and follow you guys' movement, and just see, you know, what is happening, and just get more updates on a daily basis. Is there any way you are vlogging or documenting this, or a link that we could follow?
Yeah, I can certainly share that with you afterwards. So there is a Global Sumud Flotilla Instagram page where regular updates go out, and also I have regular content coming out. I try and send something at least every day just to provide an update on where we are, what's happening. So I can share both of them with you after this,
Yeah,
if
that'd
that
be
helps.
great. But and it's great that there's a journalist on trying, you know, on almost every boat, and you know, you've got us here on Islam Channel to cover you. You know, bring whatever news you have. We will bring it out, inshallah. And but it's been great. You know, really speaking to you. It's great to see you, and inshallah, you guys all very safely, successfully reach your destination. We are rooting for you. We are praying for all of you, and we are going to keep in contact with you, so we will get more updates, but we'll also get the details for the
and
link as well.
we're so proud of you all, and we're so grateful to you all, and you know, you've got everyone's du'as. So we hope you return home safe, and inshallah we're going to have you in the Salaam Channel studios on Salaam Britain in the near future, talking about the experience and the journey and how you've opened up that corridor, inshallah.
May it be successful, and inshallah we will be catching up with you once again later on, perhaps. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.